So we're going to kill the bugs. Now, there's no point just trying to just reach up and coax them out while they're alive. It's just not likely to work. Alright, not something that I've had any success with. I haven't seen any alive organisms coming out of me. And I have seen a lot. Like probably around the 2,000 mark in terms of number of different organisms, of things that have come out. Now, I can't really describe a lot of them because I don't even know how to, but I can show some photos which might gross you out, and I will do that at some stage. So, killing the bugs. Now, I like to start with supplements. So these are some of the supplements that I am using at the moment, and I have used various different ones over the years. So oregano oil is one of my favourites. It's one that I've been using for quite a long time. I do use it on and off because there are reports that it may damage the digestive system or potentially drop down the good bacteria in the gut. So I tend to cycle through it rather than use it non-stop and all the time. That is something that I would suggest for you, but then do some more research on that as well. This one is fantastic. This is the fresh green black walnut and wormwood complex. And it also has clove bud extract in there as well. So this is based on the Halder-Clark parasite protocol. I came across this research at probably 2 or 3 in the morning one night where I just couldn't sleep because the bugs were up dancing and partying inside me, and I was very frustrated. But anyway, I did look at the Halder-Clark protocol, which mentioned about this, and getting hold of the specific ingredients and putting them together to make it work. And then I just happened to stumble across this on possibly a post or something. Somehow it came up. Anyway, the first time that I used this, within an hour or two, I passed a worm that was a good foot long. It freaked me out completely. I mean, it was ridiculous. But you know, at the same time, I was super excited because it's like, hey, okay, finally I've come across something that is working. I know this is doing what it's supposed to do, and I've got one out. So you know, that's got to be a great success for me. I'm going to be getting better from here. I knew I was on the right track. So I've kept up with that protocol on and off at different times. Anytime I use this, the nasties do come out, and that's great, but it is very powerful. So again, something to cycle through. It's not something you want to use all the time. Something like this, which is a candida support. This has got all sorts of fun stuff in there: powdered arco, oregano oil, black walnut, caprylic acid, you know, all sorts of different things. And they all help. There are other ingredients in there as well, which again aid the killing process, and that's great. This one is Alamed, which is basically a garlic extract of pure allicin, which is like the active ingredient in there. Again, very powerful, and I would also suggest cycling through these things. It's one of the things that I've found with all of this stuff, and even in the research that I've done, is the bugs can get used to the particular supplement or protocol or whatever you fire at it. So you kind of need to switch it around a little bit from time to time. You also, or I think you should be taking breaks from really going hard with this stuff too, because your digestive system can only take so much at a time. And I'll talk about that further down the line. There is a ton of really good supplements available that will help to fight the candida and stuff. These are just a few of my favourites and some of the ones that I think work best. Then we're going to move on to some foods. So this is apple cider vinegar. This is great for you know, combating that stuff as well. I've got some turmeric, cinnamon, cayenne pepper. All of these things are great for fighting off your fungus parasites, different bits and pieces like that. There are plenty more, so do your research and start implementing those herbs and spices into your cooking, and that's just going to help the process as well. There are medicines available that are great for killing off fungus parasites and stuff too. I have used diflucan in the past. There are several other different types. They can be good, they can work. I noticed a great difference when I used diflucan, and I probably did 2 or 3 different courses of it over time. However, I do try to stay away from pharmaceutical drugs these days more often than not, because they can also have adverse reactions on the body at the same time. So again, that is up to you. If you work with a doctor who can prescribe you those things with a nice quality protocol, fantastic, that's good too. This little thing here is called the Doncroft Zapper. It's for zapping parasites, so there's a particular frequency in there that runs through, and you place the electrodes over your skin. Doesn't necessarily matter where it is, but it puts a little bit of a current through there, just through a 9-volt battery, and it can help kill off some of those nasty things inside there as well. I tend to use this when I sleep, again on and off depending on when I need it or when I'm working it into a particular protocol, and it can be effective as well. They're not particularly cheap. I'm pretty sure this is the Terminator 2 and probably cost me around $200, but again, my issues have been really bad, so I'm prepared to pay whatever it takes to make a good difference on these things. So as good as all of these things are, they're really no good if you don't take them or use them on a consistent basis, so really keep that in mind. If you're going to do it, be all in. If you need a break, give yourself a rest. If you just want to go on a moderate basis where you're doing things from time to time, that's great. For example, I said earlier that I tend not to use this stuff too often because it just is a very powerful one. So what I do is I actually wait for the full moon and new moon. It seems that parasites and possibly other little critters running around there are most active during the full moon and somewhat during the new moon as well. So whenever the full moon is coming, I have it marked on the calendar. In the morning I'm going to have, well, say 2 days beforehand, in the morning before breakfast or anything else, I'm going to have some of both of those, and then on the day of the full moon, same thing. First thing in the morning before breakfast, I'm going to have them again. Quantities, honestly, I don't know with this because I'll just take whatever I feel on the day, and with this one, I tend to just take 1 dropper full. I have taken a lot more at different times, but like I said, it's a very strong, powerful thing and does produce a reaction. In the past, I may have taken this once or twice, had a really good effect of killing off the stuff, but then had the die-off symptoms come through and just leave me feeling terrible with a migraine and unable to operate anymore. So I tend to err on the side of caution because I don't like too strong a die-off that's going to limit me from being able to do all the other good things to be able to help me along the way. So here is a few great tools to be able to kill off some of those bugs. Do your research, you'll find all sorts of different ones. You may find a particular protocol that works for you. Like I said, the Holder-Clark protocol is great, but there are lots of different ones in there. Just find something, stick to it throughout the process and come out the other side. Now, this is only step 2 in the process. There are multiple steps and we're going to keep on going through them. You can't miss out on any of those steps, especially steps number 7 and 8, which are right towards the end, because that's what's going to guarantee you success in the whole protocol. You miss those steps and you might waste a lot of the work you put into this. Okay, so keep that in mind and be consistent when you are killing off the stuff.